Hello, everyone. I'm going to start off this Planet song that I wrote. For the people that did not hear it before, I had written this back with some of y'all know some of the exes that I had in my past, some of the stories. And I wrote it based on that. We can all feel and understand. So I've got to change the settings on this. Let's see here. Just,
Empty promises, believing all your lies, wanting me to sympathize with your lies, with your lies. I'm hoping to be loved, I'm hoping for romance. Needed to be held and give a love a chance. Well, I'm wanting to be caressed, but with your empty promises, you crush my love. You crush my love. Thought that you were really smart. Oh, how you ripped my heart apart. Needing you so much, believing your love was so. You promised to be mine. How could I have been so blind? So blind. I was promised loyalty, but I'm alone again. You promised you would love me to set my soul free. If our love was true, how could you break my heart in two? I was such a fool because I trusted you, pushed my love. You crushed my love. Thought that you were really smart. Oh, how you ripped my heart apart. Needing you so much, believing your love was so. You promised to be mine. How could I have been so blind? So blind. I was promised loyalty, but I'm alone again.
and people, somebody takes advantage of somebody's good, loving heart. All right. Please say hello if you're in the room. I would like to talk to you. Hello. There should be a couple of people that come in a few minutes as well. I hope that there's two of us right now. Um, Today I had got a book that a friend of mine had written. It's Mary Havens, The Shadows in My Heart. I advise y'all to pick it up and support my friend if possible. Back of it says, big families cultivate chaos. Mary Havens knows this all too well. One of 12 children, she grew up on a picturesque Wisconsin dairy farm. Holidays, graduation, marriages, and newborns filled the farmhouse with the light of laughter and hugs. Having trouble reading a little bit this dimness of the lights. Hello there. Good to see you, Merle. Unresolved grief, abuse, religious dogma, and secrets left her in the shadows, lost and alone. Her profound story is one of determination, survival, and the ability to rise above the fray. It is a story that will be too familiar to some and unfamiliar to others, but will pull at the heartstrings of everyone. For any woman wondering how to find her way clear of a thicket of lies, this book offers encouragement. And for any woman who celebrates having found her way free, this book is a captivating reminder of how far she has come. Honest and engaging, readers are the beneficiaries of Haven's having found her voice in the storm. And that was just one excerpt that one of the people wrote for at the back of Kayleen Johnson Sullivan, author of the Our Perfect Wild. Anyway, and that's a picture of my friend. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, I cover her face there, and there's her. There's how to her publication and her stuff that you could get it at Amazon. It's pretty interesting. She has appeared on numerous talk shows discussing surviving domestic violence and sexual abuse. Sorry, I probably need my glasses. But it's dark in here. There's not much light in this room, so kind of tough on me since I got cataracts as well. But anyway, she discusses surviving domestic violence and sexual abuse, including the upside. She was on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Minneapolis. If I can say it right, I'm tongue tied right now. Twin Cities Live, and the Mary Hansen Show. She was a Twitter contributor for the television shows Dr. Phil and the Doctors. Mary volunteers with organizations for survivors of sexual abuse and domestic violence. She enjoys traveling and divides her time between Midwest, Southwest, and Alaska. So again, I said it's the shadows in my heart. Okay. So it says Mary A. Havens with Lynn Wise Slide. So that's who her publisher, and that's probably a co author right there too. Probably help her get that done. I thank Mary for getting her story out. So how are you doing tonight, Merle? Are you doing okay? Oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe it'll get better. Hopefully it'll get better. Not hopefully, hopefully. Today I was a little bit, I was overhearing this couple talking with a neighbor, and they seemed so upbeat, and they were dressed. I didn't know what religious aspect they were or anything. I was curious because there's so many churches around here that downplays people speaking out against child sexual abuse or abuse of any kind. And when they decided to go on to from his, they went to the vehicle, and I just was asking, what what religious affiliation with you? Oh yeah, okay. I just really basically want to know that. And so when they told me that they were Jehovah Witness, I all of a sudden was remembering some of the stories that I had heard in the news. And I had a friend who went there. Hello, welcome, welcome to the chat. Who do we have here? Please be sure to hit a thumbs up as well. Anyway, this couple said they were from the Jesus Christ and no, what did I just say? So anyway, I had asked them what church they were from, and they told me a Jehovah Witness. I said, okay. I said, do y'all go to church on Sundays? Yeah. I said, okay. I said, I've got some friends who had trouble with Jehovah Witness. Um, they come over there to me and they said, well, and I told them, I said, there's been so many cases even online where the Jehovah Witnesses getting in trouble for messing with kids. But you do in every religion, and even if people aren't religious, it's like it's happening everywhere. It's not just happening with Jehovah Witness, okay? But for them to be saying that my friend lied, that it couldn't have happened to her, that she could not have reported it, that why am I believing her and not believing them? So for one thing, I know my friend. For another thing, I know about condemnation, being condemned for churches and stuff because of stuff. Okay, somebody's asking me what's going on. I'm going to tell them I'm doing a live. All right. So for them to go ahead and tell me that my friend was lying about reporting the sexual abuse happened to her to the people at a church, um, if I'm not mistaken, she was told where there were had to be two witnesses. Hello and welcome. Please say hi whenever you come in. I would like to know who's all here. And I'm sure with them saying, with them not having the second witness, that's how they're getting away with a lot of this. There's been, they told me there's no cases. Don't believe the internet. Don't believe if you find any cases about Jehovah Witnesses, people getting arrested for messing with kids. Don't believe the stories. Believe us. Hello, Mike. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to do a thumbs up if y'all don't mind. I appreciate that. But that's pretty sad. And like I said, hey, Legacy, good to see you. Thank you so much. Yo, Legacy does a great his program in education and reentry. Whenever you do, there's some people you go to jail and then you get out, and it's not even for people that's been in jail. It's for people that's been in that age out of foster homes and stuff. Legacy programs is there to try to help in any which way they can. They work together with other programs where we can benefit. They can benefit society as a whole and try to get help to a lot of people that really need it. Because there's so much that needs done in our world today. But for these people to be so pleasant to say, yes, foster youth and homeless also, yes, thank you so much. If you want to, I'll let you go ahead and put your number down where people can contact you if they want some information. So if you would drop your number down in the chat, I would appreciate that. And he is currently living in, him and his wife and his son is currently living in California, and they're looking for somewhere to relocate. There's a lot of problem with our judicial system, our justice system. It seems like a lot of times now that the wrong people are getting arrested. Sure. Um, but how would y'all think about that? Because like sex abuse happens no matter what religions, but for them to be so blasé. Looking at West Virginia, Doma Cali. Oh, I actually even saw a video that somebody put driving through partially of Pulaski, Tennessee. About, I think they video recorded it 2 years ago. And this town has got a bad history because it's where home of the KKK. And I'm glad to say that the people that when they were driving through, they noticed that the people here aren't like that at all. So don't believe everything in history and people's bad hype about saying that sort of thing because we're here for the people. It is. It's very crazy. It's insane. There's too many that's being convicted. And I noticed, and I watch a lot of these auditor auditors on YouTube, and some of these police are getting rewarded how many arrests, how many names they take and carded, and it's going against our constitutional rights because you're not supposed to show your license unless you're suspected of a crime. They have to tell you what crime it is you're suspected of. Hey there, how you doing? I'm so glad you're here. Oh, thank you. Hey, could you stand at a quick joke right quick? Catman, could you stand a quick joke right quick? I have to get my laptop here so I do it right. Hey, everybody who wants to hear a joke, put a one up right quick. Okay, this is the Pillsbury Doughboys obituary, okay? It is with the saddest hearts that I must pass on the following news. Please join me in remembering a great icon of the entertainment community. The Pillsbury Doughboy died yesterday of a yeast infection and complications from repeated pokes in his belly. He was 71. Doughboy was buried in a lightly greased coffin. Dozens of celebrities turned out to pay their respects, including Mrs. Butterworth, Hungry Jack, the California Raisins, Betty Crocker, the Hostess Twinkies, and Captain Crunch. The grave site was piled high with flowers, like with cooking flour. Aunt Jemima delivered the eulogy, which means she was poured on top of it, okay? And lovingly described Doughboy as a man who never knew how much he was needed. Like you need the dough. Doughboy rose quickly in show business, but his later life was filled with turnovers. He was not considered a very smart cookie, wasting much of his dough on half-baked schemes. Despite being a little flaky at times, he still, as a crusty old man, was considered a role model, like roles. Plus, they had one in a role model for millions. Doughboy is survived by his wife, Plato. He had two children, John Doe and Jane Doe. Plus, they had one another. He is survived by his elderly father, Pop Tart. The funeral was held at 3:50 for about 20 minutes. I had to share that with y'all. That's one of my favorite ones of all time. I've heard it so much years ago, and it's still a go-to joke for me. I hope you like that joke, Catlin. See, we don't always have to, be drab around here. We can have fun. We can enjoy it. Thank you so much, Catlin. I hope you sleep well. You actually get to see me on video. Most of the time when I come on, I just use the thing on there. But sweet dreams, sweetie. Thank you so much for coming. And I hope you have a good night. Yes, exactly. Laughter is the best medicine. But of course, you got to have God in your life too. And thank you for dropping in at least. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. Well, I hope you have a wonderful night's sleep. Does anybody got any good jokes they'd like to share? My phone, I think it's got a. I'm not even touching it. It's over here dinging. The battery's charging. It tries to say that the battery needs charge and then it's charging, going off and on. I'm like, something playing. It's like somebody's playing with it. But nobody's touching the cords or anything. That's kind of strange. I think it's got something to do with plus you have to worry about the plugins and everything not getting a good enough connection. How many cops does it take to beat an inmate? I don't know. You got me there, Legacy. How many? Merle says one. None. He just fell down the stairs. Yeah, they want to claim that he just fell down the stairs when they really just pushed him down the stairs. Yeah. Yep, I know that. That's for sure. Police brutality. So, there's some good cops out there. There's some bad cops out there. It is what it is. Yes, for sure. Oh, like I done told a couple people the lame bullet joke, and I know some of y'all's gonna go, when I say it, okay? Y'all don't have to laugh, okay? But why did a bullet lose its job? Mike knows the answer to this. I think I told Merle before. I'm not sure I told Legacy or not. But why did a bullet lose its job? Because it was fired. It's lame. I tell you, it's lame. It's lame. Yeah, I can see every one of y'all now going, oh, oh, but you mean bad joke? Now that reminds me of the dad joke. I heard the other day that's a bad joke. Also, I'm kind of corny, so I tell corny jokes at times. Okay, so y'all got to forgive me, please. But when does a regular joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. Okay, another bad one. See how many I can tell in a What did the janitor yell when he jumped out of the closet? Uh, I don't know. What? Supplies! That's a good one. I like that. Oh man, I got tears in my eyes a little bit over that one. I think your jokes are probably better than mine tonight. Y'all knew that I had to have that appointment that day, Friday. W2, W2 there. Tell your tell tell your wife and your kid that we love them and thank you so much for everything that you do. And thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm here for you too. I stand with you. You know that. Oh, well, I love y'all. Thank you so much. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Oh, you're gonna have to let me know some Sunday too when you're doing that live, so I'll be able to come in there and do some questions or be a call in or whatever, like you had suggested. Oh, this is a that's bad. Hey, Legacy, before you go, I want to show you this. Remember our friend Mary Havens? This is actually her book. It actually came in the mail today. The Shadows of My Heart. This is her book. Yes, did a she did a pretty good job, I guess. But I'll know more about it when I go to start reading to it. You know what I'm saying? But we are here to support one another. Always blessed. And you stay blessed as well. And I'm so glad that you get to spend more time with your wife and your son tonight. That's always a blessing too. To be sure to spend time with your loved ones. Let them know that you care. Sure. You ever need me, you know, you got my number there, my friend. And tell her that as well. Hey, Mrs., I'm here if you ever need me too. He's got my number. Okay, Mike, do you have a good joke? You thought you thought that was bad, you know, but you know it still was. It's still corny. The cornier the joke, the better. A lot of times. But my all-time that other favorite one, you know, about that police officer, that was a really good one too. And I told him about that one about God making dog the first night. I done shared that one with everybody. It's kind of funny sometimes. But you know, I want to say this that I decided after I told them that these Jehovah Witness that I would be willing to read the Bible with them, but I changed my mind about that because anybody that wants to go along with saying that everybody in the Jehovah Witness is completely innocent, that it's never happened, that Jehovah Witness don't put up with it, and that goes back to the times when we were talking about the abuse and people that did these things to us, and oh, just discount, discount, discount. It's not true. Get about it. Just sweep it under the rug. You know what that does, though? That just gives a higher rise to people continuing to do this. Set the stage for them to continue doing their sick work. And for them to tell me, don't believe the research that I find on this, even though I've seen the cases, and there's too many that's coming out. Um, and see, I don't even really know this couple. It's the first time I've seen them today. And I had to kindly remind them that even the Bible says, because they want to speak biblically. And I said, well, you know what? About the highway patrol. Okay, I have to go to my Facebook and look at it. Basically, okay, I'll be right back. Or I could just go to it and share the screen right quick. It'll get it up there on my book of faces. Let's see. My son just wrote a comment about something, and so I was concerned about that. I'm scanning down to where I find it easier. Okay, here we go. And I will have to show y'all the picture as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to StreamYard. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Now that's worse than mine. That's worse than mine. All right. Can y'all see this okay? Let's see. And here's a picture of the highway patrolman and the older gentleman. Look at the smile on our faces. A senior citizen drove his brand new Corvette convertible, and I want to say thanks to at Biggie, because that's who did this right here. Thank you so much, Act Biggie. I'm making sure to give you the knowledge, give the credit to what you had put out there, and thank you so much. A senior citizen drove his brand new Corvette convertible out of the dealership. Taking off down the road, he floored it to 80 miles per hour, enjoying the wind blowing through what little gray hair he had left. Amazing, he thought as he flew down I-94, pushing the pedal even more. Looking in his rearview mirror, he saw a state trooper behind him. Lights flashing and siren blaring. He floored it to 100 miles per hour, then 110, then 120. Sully thought, what am I doing? I'm too old for this, and pulled over to await the trooper's arrival. For behind him, the trooper walked up to the Corvette, looked at his watch, and said, Sir, my shift ends in 30 minutes. Today is Friday. If you give me a reason for speeding that I've never heard before, I'll let you go. The old gentleman paused. He said, Years ago, my wife ran off with a state trooper. I thought you were bringing her back. Have a good day, sir, replied the trooper. Okay, so now I can get back over here to stop sharing. Sometimes it gets. All right. So I read it. Did you get to see that now? Hello, who is here now? I see three people in here. I don't know who else in here. Me, Merle. Good to see you. I'm glad you're still in here. What would you rate that joke? Which joke is the best? Do you think the one with the cow one, the one with the police officer one, or one of these other jokes? Which one would y'all rate as the highest rating one of the 4 or 5 that we did tonight? Or I've got dry skin, y'all, so it's split right there right now. Oh, the Highway Patrol, that's your number one? Yeah, I would say that's probably the one of the highest ones, yes. When I first read it, I laughed because I said, "Please don't bring my ex-husband back to me, or none of my exes either." Yeah, that's really a good excuse for me. Yeah, don't bring him back, please. I'm kind of a little nutty at times, y'all. Please forgive me. Have y'all ever tried to do tongue twisters? There's some people that has a lot of trouble with, like Peter Piper picked. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Where's a peck of pickled peppers? Peter Piper picked. Been pretty good, I guess. Exactly. Hello there, William. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. So, does anybody got anything exciting? How was the weather? How did it fare where everybody else was? I know, William, you were. If you, I know you were. I think you were in Huntsville. I think, and you had to go to the bank, and y'all were basically stuck in the bank for a while the store was crossing over there, right? Oh, your favorite one's about the cow and the monkey? Oh, okay. I tell you what, it was so scary the other day when I was trying to do a live and the power had went off, I guess, in the process when I was trying to do the live and some of my internet went out. 80-mile-per-hour winds and heavy rain when was in Huntsville. I wonder if that's the same part that ended up going into Jackson County and spotted up at tornado in Jackson County around Section. That seems probable that that's the direction you would y'all think that it would be? Yeah, hunker down at a bank. Did y'all go to a vault or did y'all just basically stay in there in the open area or what? I'll probably mess it up. I'll try my best to try to do the cow, the monkey joke, but I'll probably get a little bit off. But I'll try to say it the best of my ability, okay? On the first day, God created a dog, and he told the dog that he was going to have to stay on the porch and bark at everybody that passed by, and he'll give him 20 years. But the dog said, "That's too much labor for me to be barking all the time, and just give me 10 years and I'll give you back 10 years." I said, "Okay." The next day, God made Monkey. I want you to entertain everybody and make everybody laugh, make everybody happy, and for that, I'll give you 20 years. Said, "Well, that's too much making, working like that, making everybody happy and entertaining. It's hard work. Just give me 10 and I'll give you 10 back." God said, "Okay." Well, the next day, God made a monkey. Um, so a cow, right? Sorry. I'm reading your comment too. I'll get back to it in a minute, will you? So the next day, God made a cow, and He gave it. He said, "I want you to be able to have a calf. I want you to be able to give humans milk, be able to give them meat." And the cow said, "God said, well, I'll give you 50 years." Cal said, 50 years, that's too much. So I'll be glad to take 10 years and give up 40 years. God said, okay. So the next day, God made man. He said, I'm going to give you 20 years and I want you to enjoy your life. And the man said, well, that's not enough time. Said, how about giving me 10 years of the dog, 10 years of the monkey didn't want, and 40 years of the cow didn't want? The God agreed, and so therefore, that's why when our first part of our life, we enjoy and have fun. The next 40 years, we're working like a cow, we're working hard. And then the next 10 years, we go ahead and we're able to entertain. And the last 10 years, when we start barking at people. Okay. I didn't do it justice. I'm sorry. It moved to northeast, back away from the windows. Oh, so y'all went to away from the windows by the offices? Good. That's good. Yeah, it's right at 10:36 where everybody is here too. That little smiley kind of reminds me of Cookie Monster a little bit. But I'm just glad that everybody here that we're all okay. I really started crying when that mail carrier when she came back because I saw the wind circulate going like before it hit her car. I seen it circulate, and then all of a sudden the rain was pouring down really, really bad. I was seeing it circulate like that a little bit. Yeah, where are the cookies? Cookie. And the rain was seemed like it was getting harder and harder, and then I couldn't really see. Um, couldn't even see her Jeep out there. Or you want to call a mail truck? I don't know if it's a Jeep or what kind of vehicle it is, but I couldn't see it. And then the next thing I was like, Lord, please protect her, because I was, saw that circulation, like I said. And then the wind was just really extremely bad, and so I was trying to video record it so I was trying to do a YouTube Yahoo. These are getting all messed up. Trying to do a Facebook Live, and it wasn't recording. It wasn't doing nothing. Was trying to, and it stayed at the number one. It would not go on down. I think it's had trouble because my internet connection was down, and the mobile data was working slow or something. So it wasn't taking it, and upset me because I was trying to let people know what was going on. Then all of a sudden, the top of my mailbox flew off and went and hit the neighbor's uh, window, not a window, her screen door, but it's got a glass right there. It missed the top part that's glass, the part you can really see through, but it hit the screen. Um, then all of a sudden, I seen the mail carrier at the road driving the other way. It did clear up a little bit where I could see that part. And then next thing I know, it was clear, and I looked up and I saw the um, shingles going off the house that's right beside where I was. And just flapping and just being blown everywhere. Scary as heck. And then I heard sirens, okay? And I was like, oh Lord, please no, please no. And my neighbor that's right next to me and we share a front porch, she was right there. And I said, the mail carrier was just there and she left. I said, you know, she couldn't get out to deliver the mail. She got the heck out of Dodge while she could. But I thought that was really scary. Um, I wondered if it was really safe for her to try to drive away when she did. I was just really nervous, you know. I don't didn't know what held in store for her back that way. So anyway, it was emergency crews from other areas that was noticing that the storm coming this way, and so they came. And but anyway, a few minutes later, I seen the mail carrier. She pulled back in the thing, and I was crying, man. I was so relieved. I was thanking God that she's okay. Thank you, God. She's okay. Thank you. Thank you. And it was kind of weird because I was talking to my other neighbors that was on their porch too. Bill, William, you know, Lynn, the one that's got just one leg and a nub on the other side. She was out there with her brother on the porch, and I said the mail carrier was just here a few minutes ago, and the sirens and everything. I hope she made it okay, you know. And but seeing her come back, and everybody seen me break down and start crying, and I couldn't. I had to tell her. I said I was so worried about you. I was just. I'm just so glad that you made it through. So thank God you made it through. And I could not contain myself because the joy, you know, around worrying about somebody and then actually seeing them right there. Like, thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. And then kind of find out that the reason why the sirens were going off because a tree fell down over a mobile home across from a grocery store, and it had knocked the lady to the floor, so it had pinned her to the floor in her mobile home. And so they had to have emergency crew come over and help her get out. And well, I thank God that she was able to. When we heard that a woman was trapped, then it's like, oh no, you know. So there was that fear again, you know, for a complete stranger. We don't like to hear of anybody getting hurt. That compare, we get that fear. Oh man! And then when we heard, um, I was actually with my friend Beverly. She came and she picked me up, and I went to her business for a little bit. It's just down the road. We didn't have power here, but she had power over there, and it's not even a quarter of a mile from here. But there was telephone lines across the car, down by in between her office and my office and my home. And at first, they were afraid that it was electrical lines that was down over the car, but relieved to find out that it was just telephone lines and not an electrical line. So thank God about that. But while I was there at her shop, there was a guy that was there, one of her friends, and he said he was over there at Johnson. That was that grocery store right across from where that tree had fallen on that mobile home. And he said they saw the lady be accompanied and walking. She actually walked. She walked with the paramedic on both sides. But she did have a bloody face, who wouldn't? She's lucky to be alive, right? Um, she did just have a couple scratches. That's all that I know that she had, but she did walk to the ambulance, y'all. Thank God for that. Trees were down by you as well as a tree in the right lane going up on 231 and highway patrol and fire department out there cutting it apart. Only left lane was barely open to get all traffic through going up the mountain. So it was actually blocking your lane when you had. Okay, I'm a little confuzzled here. Okay. The right lane when you're going up the mountain, right? So going up towards Oleander and Arab and all that? My great great grandfather and my great 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 grandfather were all buried in Oleander Cemetery. So that's how I know about Oleander Cemetery. Oleander. Yeah. Oh, wow. I thank God that no cars were hit from the tree when it fell across the highway. Is also that is a bad mountain to try to go up. I don't know about these. I used to have a J2000 Pontiac J2000. And every time I tried to go up that mountain, my car overheated for that Pontiac J2000. I guess it was the type of motor that the J2000 had. Oh, coming from Huntsville to Arab. Okay, okay, you're going. Yeah, like I said, yeah, that's you got to end up passing Oleander up that way to Arab. Yeah. So it wasn't actually coming from Arab to Huntsville. It's actually going from Huntsville to Arab. Okay. I was thinking that you were saying that it was on the side when you were coming, like if you came from Huntsville, I mean to Arab, coming from Arab to Huntsville, but it's actually from Huntsville to Arab. Okay, and that is anybody knows that area, 231 Governor's Drive, turning home, and that was in the right lane. All right, I'm glad nobody was hurt. Hello, who just came in? Glad you're here. And I was also afraid for Merle's safety because Merle was in a mobile home and he contacted me and it was very bad and he was without power over there because it's like tornado hitting over that way or the high winds. Not sure what they determined that out to be, but I'm sure that probably was a tornado that probably ended up hitting North Nashville a little bit later. But I think Alabama had got a big brunt of it more so than our little town. There was more damage that was around here that when I had to keep. I was trying to record it when my friend was driving, but I respected her and would stop the recording because she would get on the phone, and I did not feel like I should intervene with her phone calls. That's private, and I didn't think that needed to be broadcast. whatever her personal stuff, what she was saying. But like I said, I was supposed to go to the oral surgeon that day. But thank you so much. I hope you sleep well. Thank you, hon. Get you some good rest so that you'll be able to go to church in the morning. God bless you. Thank you. And so now the oral surgeon appointment is going to be like April the 13th or April 19th, something like that. I had to move it back. And you do what you do, you do what you can. Thank you. Please continue to pray for the people affected by these storms. I knew there was 2 deaths in Tennessee here that I know about. I hated seeing some of the damage where some of the trees came down on some vehicles also here. I was like, oh man, I hope these people's got insurance that's going to cover their car being parked in their yard from the storm. Because a lot of times people cannot afford full coverage insurance. And let's just hope and pray that his vehicles cost so much. But when I was watching the video, William and William and Mike showing somebody driving around. I guess they were from someplace in Alabama, but I think it was more down south Alabama. And they says that they heard so much bad about Pulaski since the news here about is where the KKK. They say where the KKK was formed or whatever. That's what they say. So they still give it a bad rap today, saying, "But that's where the KKK. You don't ever want to go there or anything." So this couple just drives around to different areas, and it just so happened that they were filming different places around here. And it's so old. Remember that we used to remember William? There used to be a Long John Silver's, but now you might not know that that Long John Silver's is gone. It's being refurbished by another company that's going to put some home cooking and different things like that in it. Yeah, Cherokee were there as well. Yes, because it's they had even noted that when they were going down the road where CVS Pharmacy is, and it's close to where the housing authority is, there's a sign that says Trail of Tears begins here. And then it says on another part, just right there around the same area, Trail of Tears ends here. Begins here, ends here. Did they had surmised like it started and then they had to make a roundabout half away? I'm not sure how that goes there, but we have a Trail of Tears museum here in Pulaski as well. I think it's called the Cherokee Interpretation Center. You probably have to call them in advance to be able to make sure that it's open per said days. Yes, Cherokee Interpretation Center here. And I never got to, as long as I've been living here, I never got the privilege of going inside and checking out the stuff. And I think that would be pretty amazing to be able to do that. And it's interesting how it looks on the outside in front of it. It's an old church that was that they had bought and they moved over to that area, and they're using that building as the Cherokee Interpretation Center. But out in front, they have this big. It looks like how it's painted. It looks like a little pool because it's painted blue. In front of the road, you would think it's like a little pool that you would throw muddy or change in or whatever. When you drive and you go up and you park there and you walk up to that area, it's got a big map down there, and it's got the different states like Oklahoma. It's got it's got the three different routes. Like one of them was the Binges route, if I'm not mistaken, right? I can't remember what the other two routes were called that the Native Americans had taken, but it's got it on the map. And it was so funny. One time when my granddaughter that lives in Illinois she came down and she stood on that map where it says Illinois on that drawn on the ground, and I stood, of course, Tennessee, and I waved at her and said, "Hi." I said, "I don't even need a looking glass to see you at this distance. You're in Illinois, but I don't need a looking glass or video cam." It's just been silly, of course. That's what you do with kids. And I really like that this one lady had done an art form and she got paid, I guess, to do this creation. It's got what do you call it, a statue like thing? Is that what you call it, Bill? Got the Native American guy leading the pack, and then it's got, I think the mother, I don't know if she's in the front or if she's back in the back, trailing behind in between. Got the two kids. She's holding one kid. Right. Five or six total Trail of Tears. I was like, but right in the region where I live though, uh, that came, they were just trying to show the impact of the trails that come through here in Pulaski. And I think where that Cherokee Interpretation Center is, I really like walking underneath that little bridge. It makes me feel like I'm doing a little bit of that walk also, and it kind of feels good getting that little breeze from that creek or that little stream. But right now they got also a little doggy park. So that's interesting. But they used to have this doggy fountain where a dog could drink in from the little fountain and stuff for dinner. But I think that got stopped when COVID and all came out. They stopped it, being able to supply that. And I like stopping at the different trees because it's got like in memory of this person, in memory of this person, in memory of this person. So I think the family had donated um, in this person's name. And it's good learning the different trees that so each tree planted was basically for someone. But there were more than three trails of tears. Check into that. I'm gonna have to look at it, check it out. What trail of tears? What routes were taken by Trail of Tears? Tennessee Trail of Tears. Two of the land routes, Bells and Benji's, passed through Giles County and crossed into Pulaski. It's just two that went through here, okay? The convergence of these two historic trails in Pulaski and David Crockett's strong opposition to the Indian removal has inspired the construction of a fitted memorial to the Trail of Tears and to David Crockett. So it was two of the three that did that. And this one right here is saying the detachment traveled through Jasper, because that's Jasper, Alabama, up Battle Creek to Mount Eagle Mountain. Or was it, is there a Jasper, Georgia? Because Mount Eagle is on the eastern side over that way. After crossing Mount Eagle, they traveled through Winchester, Fayetteville, and Pulaski. Okay, when they talk about like the Bales route, it said the waymark. I'm not sure whether or not it would cost anything. Let me show you what I am seeing here so that you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Oops. Got like a little history, that is. See right here, it's got www.waymarking.com, all the Bell Route, Pulaski. And in it right here, it says the Trail of Tears, the Bell Route, Pulaski. And then it's got these GPX files, the LOC files, and KML files. That's Google Earth right there. The county assigned is Giles County. It's on College Street. We know where it's at. Okay. There's erected by Trail of Tears National Historic Trail. The Bell Route of the Cherokee Trail of Tears in Tennessee, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. Okay, that's where that goes through. 1838 through 1839. The detachment headed by John Bell differed from the parties under Cherokee Chief John Ross's supervision. Excuse me. Bell's detachment was composed of approximately 630 700 Cherokee who had favored the Treaty of New Echota. How do y'all pronounce that? Is that Echota or Echota? And opposed Ross, possibly to avoid conflict with the Ross parties. The Bell detachment opted for a more direct route to the Indian Territory through southern Tennessee via Memphis. The group was also accompanied by an escort under Lieutenant Edward Diaz. The route of the Bell detachment can be followed with some reasonable accuracy due to the existence of payment vouchers which detail expenditures along the route. The Bell detachment with 56 wagons and 318 horses headed south from the Cherokee Agency on October 11, 1838, along the Hiawassee toward what is now Cleveland, Tennessee. Detachment traveled to Chattanooga, where they crossed the north side of Tennessee River at Ross's Landing. After crossing the Tennessee River twice, the detachment traveled to Battle Creek, northwest of Jasper, and climbed the Cumberland Plateau at Mount Eagle Mountain. After crossing the mountain, the detachment traveled west on the main roads connecting the county seat communities of Winchester, Fayetteville, Pulaski, Lawrenceburg, and Waynesboro. The detachment crossed the Tennessee River again at the ferry landing at Savannah. Continuing west across the state of Memphis, the detachment crossed the Mississippi River and entered into Arkansas in late November. You got to remember, a lot of these people died during this. It was cruel. After crossing the Mississippi River, detachment traveled northwest to Little Rock. Detachment then followed roads north and northwest to the Vineyard Post Office, now Evansville. The Vineyard Post Office was on the border of the Indian Territory, and the Bell Detachment was disbanded in Arkansas on January 7, 1839, to avoid any encounters with the anti-treaty Cherokee detachments of the Indian Territory. From Winchester to Savannah, the Bell route followed the original road connecting the county seats in the southern tier counties along the Alabama border. Many of these early 19th century roads were incorporated into US 64 when it was built and paved in the 20s. Some sections of what were the original roads now parallel or intersect with US 64. So that's 64 that actually, there's two 64s. So I would have to say that that's there's 164, which is old 64, that's over there by in front of Walmart, which is now College Street. But then you go the other way when you pass Walmart here, and you turn left, and that's another Highway 64, and you keep going down that way, and it goes to Interstate 65. So if it's west of Fayetteville, that means that that's that 64 that goes. Um, it's a 4 lane highway now. It's not the one that's College Street. Okay. Some sections of what were the original roads now parallel and intersect US 64 West Fayetteville. The route follows the general alignment of Boones Hill Road, which runs north and somewhat parallel to US 64. I know that there's a lot of bikers that loves driving down the Trail of Tears and riding this every year. Um, I would hope that my health sometime that I would be able to pray to God and sustain it, and maybe I would like to go on that sometime as well. At the community of Boones Hill, the route departs from the approximate path of 64 and heads northwest along a route similar to Red Oak Road and Center Point Road. Heading west towards Pulaski, Bell's detachment continued on the general alignment of what is now Center Point Road for the communities of Beach Hill and Friendship. It then follows Buchanan Creek a short distance before turning west and passing Big Henry Hill, Leatherwood Creek, and Abernathy Hill. The detachment passed through Pulaski sometime on November 3rd or 4th. Historic maps show that the old roadbed, crossed Richland Creek at Pulaski, near what is now Mill Street. That's over there by Johnson's. It's over there where near where that lady the thing came down at her trailer. As it continues on Bales Mill Road, which becomes Agnew Road and then crosses Agnew Creek. The route then travels north towards 64 along the approximate path of Per Year Road, which parallels Pure Year Creek, just south of the community of Bodenham. Oh, I know where Bodenham is. That's that other. No, that's that other 64. Okay, that's the old 64. Now y'all got me confused with the two 64s because Bodenham goes down the other 64. The route continues northwest along Choke Creek Road, parallel to Choke Creek into Lawrence County. Yep, because like I said, that other one goes the other direction, and that's towards Lawrenceburg. Okay, additional information. The markers at Giles County Trail of Tears Interpretation Center, a great place to absorb the real feel of the history. There's a marker website. Um, you can supply any image, give a good log of the adventure you had while there. Make sure it include enough to verify your visit. Images are a very welcome part of the log and help improving your visit. Okay. let's see what this marker, error 4. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? Oh, well, anyway. Do you think that was interesting? Y'all think that was interesting, or you think that was boring? Oh, yeah, now you're doing research about the Lumbee and Eastern Cherokee. And I think that's pretty fascinating. Did you say that they basically uh, uh, around Virginia, right? In so many years, the Lumbee tribe, and yet the government and stuff do not recognize them as a tribe. But I think that's wrong. I think that's completely wrong for them to do that. And so when the government does not recognize them as being a Native American tribe, and yet they've been there for since the paleo, originally Roanoke before moving south. Okay. But I really do hope, because when I lived in Limestone County, whenever you go, it used to be Limestone Flea Market over there. And I used to have the kids over there. Then all of a sudden, all these motorcycles were driving by, and that was part of the Trail of Tears that they were doing that going down, and they kept it a good speed per se. And I thought that was really interesting. I thought maybe one of these days, even though I had to watch out with my head injuries, I still would love to try to ride it with somebody. Yes, as possible descendants of the Palo Indians, right? And I think that's just so wrong for the government to keep saying that they're not really Native Americans, and they didn't have to go through the Trail of Tears, which was a good thing, and they didn't lose their homes, but there's too much similarities in the looks of the Lumbee and the Cherokee, and with them being around the same area, because the government doesn't look at them as a possible Native American, whatever. So don't you know then that when you do the DNA ancestry, even though people say you got Native American in you, and you might have Native American in you, but because they don't look at it as a Native American tribe, then what? Because for so many generations, I've been told that about the Native American that my grandmother had in her, because they even had the Native American name, Peace. And then her mother was the Greenhall. And names that's Native American. And it's pretty interesting knowing that my grandmother's first husband was named Hornbuckle, and he was supposedly Native American as well. They didn't say married long because he died of an appendicitis, And I think I tried to rationale and find out to I have to look back at ancestry and find out when Mr. Hornbuckle died, and then look at the date of my dad's birth and say, could it possibly be Hornbuckles or was it Grandpa Blacks? You know, because my dad actually went around telling everybody, and he actually went to an Indian reservation, and they told him he was the true Cherokee chief. That's according to one of my siblings. Okay, I don't put much stock in, but he did have the Indian headdress. It's about gold and legal land. Yeah, I know a lot about that. They try to steal the land and all, and it's kind of crazy because a lot of the Native Americans were nice and welcoming them, but instead they decided to be greedy and take the stuff away from the people. Right? Well, I think it's so late tonight. Probably going to go ahead and call it a night. And I want to thank you all for coming. And I think we had a pretty good talk. Sometime you got to get your channel going. And like I told you, you can do StreamYard. There's a free version that you can do, but you're limited for amount of time that you're able to use with it. And it would be an asset for you to be able to use it that way, you know? Andrew Jackson, an Indian removal wax. Is he the one that actually did the removal wax? I've seen all these ancestors and people. Uh, I don't understand why there was some of my relatives who had to be removed from their land, like in Tennessee and different areas, and I didn't understand why the government removed my family back in 18 whatever. I have to look back at the years when they were removed from. There's a lot of different things, reasons why they were moved when they're building new bridges, I guess, when they're building, trying to make more lakes and different things. It can't be just Native American, it's got to be other reasons also. 1837 is the Indian Removal Act. So I guess they named, that is who they named Andrew Jackson Way after in Huntsville, Alabama, right? My aunt lived off of one of my aunts lived off of Andrew Jackson Way in Huntsville. All right. Well, I thank you, William, for the talk and for you coming in and communicating. It's always a blessing. I want to thank everybody who came here, Merle, I want to thank Michael. I want to thank Legacy. I want to thank he, the President of the United States, and it was his protect. It was his what? There's been so many people that's been shut on, and I don't want to cause a stir with a lot of people, but Native Americans, I believe, were the first ones to really be mistreated and racially profiled. They were the first ones here. Oh, okay. Who was that one that's got the statue here? And okay, I think it's Davis, right? The statue, the one statue that's here. It's Sam Davis, I believe, not Sam Houston. Wow. Who Sam Houston did? But a lot of people from like the Republican Texas and Tennessee, they work together a lot of the times too, right? That's what we're saying. God bless Texas. God bless Tennessee too. God bless everybody in the whole world. Help them to see your way is the way. Help them to see and have hope. Everybody to see that you got love, your compassion, your genuinity, loving hands, loving arms. Engulf us, guide us through our many walks of life, Lord. Thank you so much. Pray for my friends and my family. There's so much heartache just going on. Lord, I pray for our country as well. May we all work together and come together. And we bring you back to the world. So many people just throw you aside. I know, Lord. Thank you, dear Lord. First name, amen. Oh, cool. Well, I just got through saying that prayer, so I want to go ahead and close for tonight, okay? And you have good dreams, all right? Night there.